Hey, it's Nyla. Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you haven't met me yet, I'm a full-time working mom of one baby girl, and on this channel, I like to talk about all things design, specifically in the home, and how that impacts our well-being. So, in today's video, I'm going to talk about how you can set up a play area for your toddler despite challenges with limited space. The first thing I did was declutter my daughter's toys. There were a lot of toys that she'd gotten from her baby shower that I just decided to keep and see how she liked them. But as I started to read and learn more about the Montessori way, I definitely wanted to reconsider some of the options that I had for my baby. So the next thing I considered is where I would be able to set up a space that was designated for play. So I cleaned out two separate corners, which are in my dining room. The one corner is where I had these hanging plants that just died because I do not have a green thumb whatsoever. And I had like a chair here that nobody ever really sat in. So I decided to get rid of that. And in the other corner, I decided to get rid of my bookshelf because it wasn't really serving a purpose other than collecting clutter. We were using it kind of like a catch-all just to get things off the floor and hold items that could easily be reorganized somewhere else. For example, in the TV stand or other drawers that are actually designated for certain purposes. Again, this goes back to setting up systems that work for your home and sticking to those systems to make sure you're utilizing your space properly. The space that I was actually able to utilize was in my dining room. So because my living and dining room are all connected in an open style floor plan, putting it there still made sense as it's all a part of the same space. This is actually one of the benefits of having a small apartment or small home is that sometimes things kind of design themselves because you're working with limited space and you have no choice but to add things in certain places. However, the idea is to make sure that the layout and the furniture and decor all work together within those areas, but that's a whole other video. So when you're planning where to create your play area, just make sure that there is enough space to set up the toys and for your child to move around freely, like pull the toys out, put them back in, and there's no obstacles in the way. So what I did is I took measurements to figure out what size shelf would actually fit there. So with the Montessori style of play, they utilize open cubbies that display toys so the child can easily see and grab toys, as opposed to something like a toy box that they have to dig through. I found this shelf on Amazon and the company had more eco-friendly materials, which I was also looking for. I'll link that below if you like this style. It was a little harder to find something that was more eco-friendly that also accommodated the size that I needed, so the edge wasn't protruding into the walkway that leads to the kitchen. But I did end up finding a toy shelf that fit perfectly that we could still maneuver around. Make sure you also install the anti-tip hardware, which I must admit was a pain to try and do while watching my toddler who wanted to play with the new things in her environment. However, the first thing she did when I put the toy shelf was together was try to climb on the shelf. So make sure you install that hardware. So the way the anti-tip hardware works is there is a piece that's connected to the toy shelf, and then there is a piece that's connected to the wall, and it's connected with like a wire hanger. So if they pull on it, it doesn't fall off the wall. And make sure you install that into a stud so that it's pretty secure. And actually, I can say now that I've had this set up for a little while, she does not attempt to climb on it. Once I put all the toys and stuff on it, she doesn't like actually try to climb on it or pull it, but just for safety reasons, you never know. So in order to continue maximizing space, I added a bookshelf to the top of this unit. So my daughter is 1 and she does inch around and grab books from this shelf. I debated putting this on the opposite wall, and I still may do that, but for now I'm going to set it up this way to save even more space. Another thing I wanted to do was add more opportunities for learning in like the vertical sense. Another thing I wanted to do was add more opportunities for learning in the vertical sense. When you're working with small areas, the trick is to work your way up. When setting up a play area for a child, you still do want to make sure you're not putting things out of reach or where they won't see it. It was important to me to work at her level and install things so she could access them with limited help. So I decided to put this artwork directly above the toy shelf, which was perfect in the sense that you can still see it from a distance. And sometimes I like to hold her and point to the different objects in the photo. So you'll definitely see that I install it at a shorter height than you would with normal artwork, because once again, the artwork is for your child to see as opposed to the artwork being for you. By the way, I use these command strips for just about everything, and using them to hold the bookshelf in place actually worked out really well. So when she was going to pull a book out, it would kind of like she would pull the bookcase forward and all the books would fall, of course, because the back of this bookshelf, the back of this bookshelf is open. So I installed these command strips to keep it attached to the wall, so that way when she goes to pull a book out of it, it does not pull it forward and she can grab the book without it knocking all of the books down. So the whole idea behind this space is to keep my child entertained, keep her learning and engaged, and make sure that it's not too overwhelming to the point of her jumping from toy to toy and not fully engaging in the toy's purpose or furthering her enjoyment or her skills. And also to create a space that does not collect clutter and fits seamlessly with the rest of my space. For the finishing touches, I added her name sign, which was previously in her nursery, but I decided to add it down here because it fit in the space so perfectly and it gave her a little corner to herself in the dining room. I'm extremely happy with the way this play area turned out, and I hope this is helpful to some other people who may not have a playroom to designate for their kids, but still want to make use of the benefits of a designated play area. Please make sure to like and subscribe. I release videos every Thursday. Until next time, bye.